Waifus don't love you. Valentine's Day is coming up, and couples will be celebrating. The love or the idea of love will be in the air. I had some trouble making this video. I actually planned on talking about waifu culture a few months ago, but this isn't a topic or a video that I just want to dunk on people who have waifus or who husbandos and consider the relationship legitimate. But I want to have special care with this video, and to help me do that is my friend Podson, who will be also giving his thoughts and having way better care than I could engaging with this idea. There are many communities within anime. People from all different backgrounds can come together to watch amazing art and storytelling, a medium of entertainment that can be motivating, life-giving, and emotional, and make you feel like you have real connections with the characters. With it being one of the most popular mediums of storytelling, there's a reason why so many people like anime. But in the world of fandom, there's a different way that some people connect with anime. I want to start from jump and be sensitive to the people who do have a waifu. I want to have a healthy conversation that I believe can be beneficial to the waifu community and others who don't understand it. So please, I'd love for you to share your experience, but wait to the end to hear my heart. As someone who loves Jesus and believes that he satisfies the deepest longings of our hearts, my main goal is to show you a better love in him, and hopefully you can see how these characters can't really do that. Now, I know this is a sensitive and controversial topic for some. As far as I know, waifus and the culture associated with it have been greatly criticized. And you may be watching this and you got a couple waifus yourself and you're of the attitude that it's no big deal. But wait till the end and hear me out, because I think you'll get where I'm coming from. Since I've been watching anime, and especially now with Anime Relatable, I'm always looking to see from the anime I watch how it relates to my life, the world around us, and as a Christian, finding spiritual themes or gospel themes that can point me to our need for Jesus. But I also like watching anime for great entertainment, because it's fun to see the impossible happen, to see greatness on display. But as I recently taken this platform more seriously, especially being on I was on TikTok, but I noticed that some people actually take anime serious to a romantic extreme. So instead of me explaining what a waifu is, I'm going to have Podson do it real quick.
Alright, so what exactly is a waifu? The word waifu comes from the English word wife, but it's how a Japanese person would pronounce it. If you don't already know, there is a massive meme about Japanese people mispronouncing English words, and it carries out to words like waifu. The male equivalent of a waifu, of course, is a husbando. So the term is used by people who watch anime to describe a female character from a particular show who would make an ideal romantic partner. Let's take Yukari from Girls on Panzer. She's got great initiative, she's really nerdy about tanks, and she's got that floofy hair, as well as the fact that she's ready to go to war with you in a Panzer I. All of these things would be ideal for a real woman to have in my eyes. Rio Futaba from Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai is another great waifu to have, not only because of her great figure, but because she actually is also a great intellectual. Who doesn't want a good-looking woman who's also smart to have as a wife? Now, I understand Eli has some different tastes though, but considering he is already married, I won't go ahead and expose him like that.
Man, thanks for not exposing me. Honey, if you're watching this, you know you my type, shawty. You know I love you. I think Patson did a great job in explaining what a waifu is, and it's great he pointed out that a lot of the things that we can find great in our fictional characters are things that anyone would want. I'll take it a step further. Though outside of the anime medium, because I realized that the waifu energy doesn't just stop at anime, it goes to video games, cartoon characters, American comic characters, anything that's kind of fiction. Now, I'll be fair that I do believe that there are people who have these waifus and husbandos at various levels. Some fans might casually call their favorite female character in a game or anime their waifu, but others are more earnest about it, viewing their waifu as a part of their life. For these people, their feelings, even though they're well aware the character is fictional, are serious. Now, since I've been watching anime, there have been female characters that I thought looked nice. There Also would be characters that I thought were super dope, like Urza from Fairy Tail, basically being the strongest woman in that show with unwavering resolve and mad transformations. And then there's Mikasa from Attack on Titan. I don't even gotta mention what she about, y'all know. But never have I had the thought that these whole fictional characters were my romantic partners. And before you think I'm judging you, when I was younger, I did the same thing with singers and actors that I saw in movies. I'd find over these people I saw on the screen, and it'd be like that. That's my whole wife. I don't do that now, mainly because I'm married and I'm not elevating anyone over my wife. But when I was younger, I definitely could relate. Like literally, like Kim Possible from the Kim Possible movie, bro. I thought she was bad. She go bad, but I never really thought to take it in that way. So I get you. People having waifus could be for a bunch of different reasons, but I think Podsan might be a bit more knowledgeable in the subject for some of the reasons why people can gravitate towards this, but I have some guesses, so I'll just share them after.
Now, some of you may have just been uncomfortable with how I described those anime characters, but let me explain how far I've developed my thinking on waifus. I will also explain best girl and the difference between that and a waifu. So it is self-explanatory, but every anime will have a clear female lead who is just the best character, as there will also be a really good best boy as well. Like from Chainsaw Man, I can confidently say Makima is not my waifu, but in my opinion, Makima is indeed best girl. A waifu is far more personal, in which you feel as if you have a really emotional and sincere attachment to this fictional character. We'll get to why this is the case for a lot of young men later on, but at its core, I don't think there's anything surface level wrong with being really invested in a character or being really passionate about an anime. So long as it doesn't overpower your passion for Jesus, there isn't anything intrinsically wrong with being excited about any artistic media. So when I do say Futaba do be looking cute, or I really appreciate the floofball Yukari, those are simply descriptors that you're assigning to an anime character. Now, there's no way in a million years that I'd say that in front of a woman unless I was romantically interested in her, but those descriptors are accurate to ascribe to a character in anime.
Escapism, fandom, character designs, or development, having a community with other people who also share the same love for a certain character, even creative expression, which could be just for innocent fun. And I don't think anything is wrong with that, but I think that it can be taken too far sometimes. The people that believe that these fictional characters are their soulmates, the people that buy the figures, the body pillows, and just end up having these romantic feelings or think they are actually in relationships with these characters, I don't want to ignore that there's probably something real happening there. There's nothing wrong with buying things to show your love for a show or a character, but when it goes beyond that, I think there's a few things happening. The need for love, the need to have someone who understands you completely, someone who won't let you down or hurt you. Going to a waifu could be a response to trauma from other people who have hurt you or have broken your trust, or you really, really just might love a certain character and I sympathize with you. But before I give critique, I want to say that if you're into waifus and husbandos, this isn't a critique on you. As a person or anything, I understand that this is an issue, is probably mad complex, but as a Christian person and also just wanting to love my other anime community people, I have concerns.
By all means, I think engaging in discussions about who best girl is or being somewhat passionate about a character in an anime, these things are valid ways to engage in particular fandoms and community. However, the deeper side of it is that there are a lot of young men out there who are very socially awkward, conventionally unattractive, or just have had bad experiences with women. And this is the reason why they turn to waifus. It's easier to talk to a fictional character who won't respond back to you. It's far easier to not have a physical relationship with a 2D character. And that is reflective of how many young men today are lonely. For young people, and I have thought about this a lot, for a young person to have a waifu, I don't think is in itself bad. If a guy in their 30s has one, then that's far more problematic. You should have found a partner by that time if you were seeking a romantic relationship. But for someone in their teens or 20s, it's a good exercise in finding out what sort of women you want to have as a partner. You know, I'd much rather a guy be more invested in a 2D image than they go out and be promiscuous, though it is from this that it should act as a good starting point for you to then go and meet other people.
I want to highlight a creator real quick who has talked about his experience in dealing with a waifu.
Was, quote, dating a waifu. I took it very seriously. It was 100% a replacement for an actual human partner. And so there was a lot of very real emotions that were involved. But I started to become kind of critical of it. I mean, you have to think, if you're trying to take a relationship with a fictional character seriously, you have such little control over that situation. Like, if they decide that they want the character to take some kind of different direction that does not do it for you, what then? Like, then a company's decision would have shattered your relationship, would have changed the core being of the character that you fell in love with. That hurts. If you were more of the insecure type, like me, everyone having their own headcanon becomes incredibly hard to hear, because they think that Raven should be shipped with Beast Boy, or they think Raven should be over here, over there. She should be in all of these different things, because everyone has their own ideas and opinions, and that kind of upsets your understanding and your connection to the character, and it hurts. Not to mention that with the way that the internet is with certain things like the dreaded H word, if you are trying to have a traditional relationship with a fictional character, that's tough. That's kind of have to just accept the fact that if you're taking everything as canon, your waifu's, well,
she belongs to the streets.
But going back to the critical questions, like, there's a lot to think about with that, because does the artist count as their dad? Does the company that owns the media that she's from, do they count as her dad? What does a meet the parent situation when dating a waifu look like?
If you're still watching this, go ahead and hit that like button and comment. Give me your thoughts below. But one of my concerns with this waifu idea is probably obvious. It's not real. I understand that someone's feelings for a fictional character might be very real. I want to acknowledge that. But the reality of it is that I don't think you can have an actual genuine relationship with this character. Waifus don't change. Waifus are 2D, maybe 3D characters. Just because you buy the figures or the pillows doesn't mean they turn into a real person. You can't have a real conversation with a waifu because they belong to the fictional world they come from. Romantic relationships can be beautiful and messy with two people who grow and change together. You get into arguments. You learn how to forgive one another. You learn how to serve another person and put them before yourself. If you have a waifu, most likely in your mind, this waifu or husbando caters to you. This waifu love interest is pretty much perfect because they can do no wrong. They are the perfect partner for you. But I'm gonna be honest and break some news to y'all. There's no such thing as a perfect partner. There is no person in this world that will meet everything you desire. And even if they do, they will change, and you will need to learn how to grow and adjust as an equally flawed person. How can you do that with a fictional character? My one question is, for the people who find everything they need in their waifus, what do you do when you want to actually date real people? Anime girls and anime guys are nothing like real people. The only time I've seen people act like anime characters is in cosplay, or they act like an NPC, and that's cringy. Second, I gotta say, and this might be loosely related to waifu culture, but overt sexualizing of fictional characters is just disgusting to me. And this may be a fringe or whatever, but it's so concerning to me that people do like fan art of characters that they feel romantically attracted to, and it's just them without clothes or barely any on. Granted, some anime, they just over sexualize their characters anyway. I hate watching anime like that, but I'll be straightforward. You don't need that. It's messing you all up. I put it on the same level as prawn because that's not real stuff. That's fictional bodies. You're feeding over it. It's not real. Viewing these characters and make your brain messed up and make you think wrongly about sex and people's bodies. Thirdly, and this is from a Christian perspective, and this would be one of the rare times that I say this about something in anime culture, having a waifu can be harmless, but to its extreme can be idolization. We were created for God, for him to be the one that gives us ultimate fulfillment and enjoyment in this life, but because we decide to rebel and go our own way, we started giving ourselves to idols, not real things. All of humanity has to deal with this issue of idols, because like any idol, idols only take and never give you anything in return. You may be giving love and time and attention and dedication to your waifu, but what is it giving you? How is it giving you life? How is it giving you purpose? And I know we trick ourselves into thinking this isn't doing any harm. I'm not bothering anyone, but the reality is, to its extreme, it's cutting you off from real authentic community that you actually need. Has COVID taught us anything? Most importantly, it distracts you from what I believe is the most important relationship you need. God created you to have personal relationship with himself. John 17:3 in the Bible says, Jesus says that this is what eternal life is, to know God and Jesus who came into the world. God loves you so much and wants you to be in relationship so much to the point that Jesus, he lived the perfect life you don't have to live. He went to the cross to die for you so that you would not have to be separated from a holy God. And he rose from the dead, proving that he is God in the flesh, and that reconciliation with God is only possible through him. And through Jesus, we can have our hearts filled with the one who we were made for.
What the church has to do about it, I don't know, maybe actually reach out to these young men, to these lonely young men, so they can take positions of leadership in the church and find a suitable partner there. For churches to outreach to these guys so that same passion being exhibited upon an anime character can be transferred towards Jesus. I know it's cliche, but the ultimate solution to this problem of young men being so deeply emotionally attached to anime characters is to provide them with something that'll overpower that attachment. That, of course, being the grace and salvation that comes in Christ Jesus.
Anime fans, I understand you and I sympathize with you. Please don't take this as a bashing of your interests, but I be doing a disservice to anyone who has joined this community or is coming across this, if you're watching this video, if I didn't let you know my concerns and letting you know that these waifus can't offer you anything. Go outside, touch some grass. I believe that you were made for something or someone that is the most important person in the world, and your waifu can't satisfy you. What you're dealing with right now, right? Like you're avoiding people, you have social anxiety, whatever it may be, and you find comfort in waifus. You're closing yourself off from the world, and you don't need that. You don't need to be a closed-in otaku who takes pride in being a shut-in. No. You need to experience life. You need to experience other people. And ultimately, you need to experience God. So if you're watching this video, place your faith in Jesus. And if you don't, you have your waifu that can't satisfy you.